I took a little drive on a hot Saturday down in southwest Georgia where I lived. I went down to the Ochlocknee River to the old iron bridge which was built under the WPA days way back under Roosevelt in the 30s sometime. It's still standing. All the decking is gone. There are no weldments on it. It's put together with rivets, still together. If you put a new decking on it, you could drive across it. Seems to be, or seems to have been, a one-lane bridge, which probably if two cars met, one would have to stop and let the other one cross it before proceeding. The river itself is very low, just a trickle really, when normally it would be all the way, about halfway up to the bottom of the bridge, and sometimes in high water all the way, just lapping the bottom of the bridge itself. You can see on some of the pilings when we get to that how high it normally is. This is a summer of drought, however, so it's very low. I laid my camera right on one of the purlins across the bridge to take a picture because I thought it made a good composition with the willow tree growing up through the structure. Here you can see some of the rivets still in place, holding the bridge together. There is a cypress swamp, mostly dried up right now, on both sides of the river, with all the cypress knees in it. Pretty nice looking, really. This is a shot of the new bridge that replaced the old bridge sometime in the 70s. Again, you can see how low the river is and how the water came up on the pilings in normal times. Next, I drove down a little sandy dirt road to another spot on the Ochlocknee River where it looks like someone had camped out the night before, left their campfire, and a lot of the trash, even though they did put it in a container, they still left it. I guess someone would come along and pick it up and take it away. This is a cabin built on the river just downstream from the campsite. These are the palmetto bushes that grow all over, especially in the swampy areas. And as I drove on out, I stopped to take some pictures of a donkey and some goats. And that was the biggest, most badass billy goat I think I've ever seen. He was almost the size of that donkey, as you can see. He's huge and had a beard hanging down under his chin about a foot long. I left him alone when he acted like he was a little irritated with me being there. I could just hear him saying, "You want some of me? Come on." Next, I drove down to Lake Iamonia, which is just north of Tallahassee and about 15 miles from my house. It's covered with lily pads, and all the trees are festooned with Spanish moss everywhere you look. And it's full of chiggers, so you want to stay away from that stuff. This whole region has a great many live oaks, which spread out many feet from the central trunk. Huge, beautiful trees. They're everywhere in the low-lying areas and sometimes in the sandy areas. This is the birthplace of Jackie Robinson, the baseball player, who was born here, just south of Cairo, Georgia, but he only lived here for about a year as a baby. Nevertheless, it's considered a historic place now. And so concludes my little tour of southwest Georgia on a hot Saturday afternoon.